Welcome. This is a short introduction to EDSE 634. By now, I hope you have had the opportunity to view the video, The Case Against Assistive Technology. If you haven't done so, please do. It's about 4 minutes long and quite thought-provoking. In this video, it highlights some of the perceptions or perhaps more misperceptions of assistive technology over the years. Is AT cheating? Does it give an unfair advantage? Is it expensive? And does it replace learning basic skills? These are just a few of the notions that the video highlighted. Think about what ideas you have about assistive technology. And if you want to start a discussion, you can make a comment on the Flipgrid, or you can do so in the student lounge. Now, I like to begin the course by just outlining the definition of AT. And this definition comes from IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. And as you can see, assistive technology is both a device and a service. An assistive technology device is any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modified, or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of a child with a disability. Now, I'd like to break down this definition just a little bit. First, as you can see, an AT device is an item, piece of equipment, or a product system. That means that AT is always a thing. It's not a person and it's not a strategy. People and strategies are important, and sometimes they can replace or reduce the need for AT, but they are not AT. Another piece of this definition is that this thing is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of a child with a disability. So according to IDEA, that the AT needs to be used with a child with a disability, for a child with a disability. Now, there are other definitions of AT in other laws, such as the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. So in essence, AT isn't only for children with disabilities, but we are referring to IDEA here. And it's that AT, that thing, is used to increase, maintain, or improve. So it's not always about learning more things. As you see that the word maintain is in there. So sometimes it's just being able to keep consistent with what you're able to do. And then also the term functional capabilities. I think that term is a little bit vague, but it brings about the idea that assistive technology is about being able to access, being able to do the functional things in order to be able to have a more independent life. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. Now, AT is also a service, and as a service, that would be anything that it would take to support the use of the assistive technology. In the AT Internet module that you'll be looking at this week, it will outline some of the examples of that. Now, here is my favorite example of assistive technology, glasses. Many of us use glasses, and glasses are great. When I put my glasses on, I can see better. And because I can see better, I can carry on with my life in a more productive way. But those glasses are not teaching me to see better. They are allowing me to see better so I can learn new things, and they are an integral part of my learning process, but they are not teaching me anything new. So one thing to remember is that assistive technology compensates for some lack of function, but it does not necessarily teach me something new. Here are some examples of AT. And AT, if you refer back to the definition, doesn't even necessarily have to have anything to do with technology, at least technology as most of us think of it. So here, if you see this example, this little pointer thing, that is really not technology at all. And this key, now these other pieces I think people would consider technology, but they're not necessarily the most cutting edge pieces of technology. This adapted keyboard, simple communication device. This is an alternative to a mouse. There are so many options for AT that go from no-tech things such as picture schedules or pencil grips to high-tech things like voice-activated computers and environmental control systems. In this class, you are going to be exploring many of these options. Now I'm going to end with just a few tips to help you have the most successful class experience you can. If you go into the Getting Started area, you will also find a couple of articles that give some tips as well. And these are nothing earth-shattering, and they just serve as a reminder. So first, please read the syllabus, obviously, and I'm sure everyone does that. But the key here is to refer back to it often. The syllabus is quite a lengthy document, and it is nice to have that as a reference. And one definite benefit of doing this is some activities do probably take more than a week to really complete, and to be able to have more lead time. If something is due in a certain week, one example is the observations. They could take you more than a week to do, and even in terms of setting them up and making the arrangements. So having a little lead time for that would really often helps. A second thing is make a plan for doing your classwork. One of the best benefits, I think, of an online class is the flexibility. Make that work for you. If you see that you're going to have a busy week coming up or you're going on vacation, there's no reason that you can't work ahead. You can do week 3 activities in week 1. It's totally fine. With very few exceptions, most everything you need is already available to you in the course. 3, I encourage everyone to jump into the discussion forums and the other classwork. Share your experiences, definitely as much as you are comfortable. And the more we put into this course, the more we get out of it. I'm always surprised and impressed by the amount of expertise that is already in the classes. And please, never ever hesitate to ask a question and reach out. That is what I am here for, and your classmates as well. Thanks so much for listening.